All right, Brent Porcio, TopVelocity.net. I'm going to do this video on how to develop a cut fastball with the Diamond Kinetics PitchTracker. It's also going to be a good video to show you how to use Diamond Kinetics in a bullpen session to develop pitches. Okay, so we're going to go through the features of the app and also talk about the cut fastball. So when you get the Diamond Kinetics ball, you want to download the app and you're going to pair the ball. Once the ball's paired, you're going to go to throw now. Okay, we're going to then go to the camera, and I want to make sure my camera's in line directly behind where I'm throwing to my target, and I'm going to hit record. The way this is going to work is it's going to record every throw, and it's going to cut every throw, so it's not just going to run one video, and then it will match it to the pitch and to all the pitch data. So once that's on record, you don't have to mess with it from there. We're going to go back to where the pitch data is. I'm going to make my first throw, my first fastball, and then we're going to go into working on a cutter. All right, as we can see here, the spin rate 1600, velocity 66. The release point is a little bit lower than 1 o'clock, so pretty horizontal release. I can even work on that. I'm a little too horizontal because my hips are tight, and I lose my contralateral position. I'm going to throw one more pitch and see if I can get the release point a little higher. I want to build from a little higher release point so I can work on, I don't want to get too much side action on my cutter. I'm going to get more downward break, late break. So I want to get my release point a little more horizontal, and this is going to tell me where it is with the spin direction plus the spin axis. Where is it spinning? And this is a 3D axis, so when we start working on the cutter, we're going to start trying to shift around the 3D axis to get the cutter effect. The spin efficiency is telling me how well the spin rate is affecting the movement of the ball. So if I have good spin efficiency, it's really converting well to the movement of the ball. For example, my horizontal break was 15 inches, my vertical break was 15 inches. So the hitter, when it sees it out of the hand, the hitter would perceive the ball to be 15 inches lower and 15 inches more straight than horizontal based on the perception. So this is how much it's running based on the hitter's perception. All right, so I'm going to throw one more pitch. I'm going to try to get my release point up a little bit more by working on keeping my hips under me and my trunk more contralateral. All right, so 12:30 now, a whole one hand up, 5-inch horizontal break. So took off a good 10 inches of break. Spin efficiency went down a little bit, and vertical break picked up. So basically what happens is the spin converted more to vertical break than horizontal because the spin axis and spin direction was more over the top. I kind of fell off the glove side, that's why I missed the ball to the left. So if I go into the video, I can see from the previous shot, my release point was, remember, more 12:30, and I missed, or I went to the middle, and then on this one I got more over the top. Okay, you can see more over the top, and I missed more to the left. So for me to, if I want to work on my cutter, I'm going to try to work fastball inside, and then I'm going to try to go cutter more inside and cut back to that inside part of the plate. So let's try to get here a fastball on the inside part of the plate. All right, we can see I got the fastball to the inside part, and I had 8 horizontal, 19 vertical, so not too bad, not getting too horizontal. And if we go back to review the pitch, okay, we can see I released in a more over the top slot, inside part of the plate. So let's try to do that again with the cutter. And now with the cutter, I'm going to take a 4-seam fastball and I'm going to offset it. Because basically with the cutter, I just want a slight change in the spin axis. I want to bring the spin axis slightly around so it's cutting the air this way which will pull it back to that side, because that's what I want the cutter to do. I want it to go to the inside of the part of the plate, and the last second it cut in or slightly cut down. So I just take my fastball grip and I slightly turn it, okay? And then once we do that, we should see less horizontal break, probably some less vertical break. Same spin rates, maybe better spin rates, as I'm going to work to really try to keep good pressure on my middle finger on it and get the ball to last minute break in. So let's do that. All right, so you can see I came in probably a little bit more aggressive than ideally. A -1 horizontal, so pretty hard break. 4 inches lost here, but you can see the spin axis going from more straight to the hitter to pulling, the axis pulling in this direction, so that's where the spin is going off this way and pulling down or running back or running away from, say, a right-handed hitter. So the spin efficiency was poor. It's something where I have a hard time staying on top of the ball. Not, you know, my hand wants to kind of slip to the side, losing pressure. That pressure's key to keep it tight. It could get a lot tighter here, so not as tight as I'd like it. But if I go to the video, you know, I can see, let's look at the fastball release point. I can see my fingers perfectly, both of them right behind the ball, okay? And then if I go to the cutter, I can see just my ring finger behind the ball and it running off the side of my hand. So that's where it's probably too much to the side, and you can see slight little late break. So if I have my fastball going more inside, okay, here, actually that's more down and away. But if I had one going more inside, okay, so the cutter hit here, it'd be like if the fastball hit more to the right, because that horizontal break on the fastball was like a 4. Then you'd see that slight little run in away from the hands on a right-handed hitter. That would be your cutter. So this is a great tool because the tool allows you, after you make a throw, to see what happened. Did the ball not break? Did the spin axis not change, or did it dramatically change where you got off to the side of the ball and you'll get a gyro? It'll say gyro because it's just spinning sideways. You know, and as you do your breaking stuff, is your spin efficiency getting worse? So, meaning, is it not? It's, you know, you don't get the tight dots. You get a wobbling dot. We want this to be really tight. So something I could do better is work on my spin efficiency in my breaking pitch or in my cutter. Then you want to make sure all this is staying the same. Remember too, a lot of the way your ball's moving, this has to do with where you arch arm slot. If I'm pushing in a more 1 o'clock slot, the ball is going to be running more horizontal. If I'm pushing a more 12 o'clock slot, the ball is going to be moving less horizontal. So, you know, if you're playing 4-seam to 2-seam fastballs, but your slots are changing, it might not have anything to do with your grip. It just might have to do with your slot. So this tool is the only way you're going to really tell that, unless you're using video. And this is also helping you splice in video so you can visually see what you did, as long as also reading your ball data. Now, the cool thing is if you want to come in and label this, like your first pitch was a fastball, and that pitch, if we looked at it, that pitch was low middle. So we'd go fastball, low middle. Now the next one I think was fastball, okay, kind of low, a little bit low and away. So fastball, low and away. And then here comes your cutter, and the cutter was like right middle in, or middle. Okay, and so that way, and you see it up here, it says fastball, fastball, cutter. So that way you can keep track of this, and even on the locations, the coolest thing is you still have the video where you can see that as well. So a great tool for you to develop your pitches, and like you see, for example, use an example of a cut fastball to make sure it's effective when you face hitters. If you want more on developing these pitches, getting more into these pitches, got a great video I'll link below on developing different pitch grips and working on different pitches. And then this is a great tool to complement those instructional videos.